Playing Around Wisconsin, where we offer you a unique look at every public golf course that we have in the Badger State. Enjoy the scenes, the friends, and the swings as we embark on a journey to play around Wisconsin. This is Playing Around Wisconsin. Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Playing Around Wisconsin. Today we're coming to you from Fairfield Hills, just outside of Baraboo, Wisconsin. I keep saying the town and the state. I think we've all established that, yes, the town's in Wisconsin if we're watching Playing Through Wisconsin. But Fairfield Hills, just outside of Baraboo, another one of the short courses, kind of keeping in theme with the first few episodes that I'm bringing to you. 12 holes out here, but I'll only be playing 9 because I have another tee time this afternoon I'm pretty excited about getting to. So, again, welcome to another episode of Playing Around Wisconsin at Fairfield Hills, and let's see what we can find out. To get to Fairfield Hills, just simply take a turn off of Old Business Highway 12, not far from Ho-Chunk Gaming and Casino. There will be a fleet of golf carts up and ready for you when you arrive, and there's not a ton on the fleet, but they all work great. And on the way in, you'll see one of the nicer practice facilities in the area. Plenty of places to hit and get better. Taking a quick glance at the scorecard, the 9 holes reach out to 2,017 yards. The extra 3 holes, as you can see, 134, 400, and 282 yards added on. I didn't get a chance to play them, but I'd love to come back and try it again. The first hole plays as a par 4 from the white tees, par 3 from the rest of them. Pretty straightforward, just has a nice tight window that you have to hit through at about 200 yards out. I hit my hybrid today. My 3-wood's still broken. But all in all, from the tips, I believe that about a 240-yard club is the right choice to make. Anything too long would be in trouble. The hole is pretty flat, but does drop off on the right side of the green where I had to pitch up from, leaving myself a birdie putt from above the hole. The first player out of the day, the green's still super wet, lots of leaves all over the place, but they were working hard to get the course ready to play. Not upset with a par on a par 4 to start. Moving on to the second hole. The second hole is a par 3 that I think would fit in just about anywhere. It's long enough to challenge you, but short enough to really entice you and try to be aggressive. The important part is hitting it the right distance off the tee. Anything short, you run the risk of falling down into that ravine between the tee box and the green. Thankfully, I had enough club that day to hit it up high enough to leave myself a pitch and an opportunity to score for par. But with the trees on both sides, it's a beautiful par 3. The second green, like all the greens at Fairfield Hills, is amply sized, but unfortunately not big enough for me to hit in regulation. All the greens out here, I would say, aren't overly complicated, like some courses you might find, but all of them really add to the enjoyment of the round. Moving on to the third hole, from the tips, runs the same exact length as the first hole. Par 4 from the whites, par 3 from everywhere else. I actually really like this hole. It's a little bit wider off the tee than the first hole. Not too long, not too short. Again, with that broken 3-wood, I had to settle for my hybrid. I might otherwise hit my 3-wood just because it has that extra space. As you can see, I landed in some of the leaves near the trees separating the left side of this fairway and the 7th hole. Thankfully hit a really nice pitch shot to tap in to grip myself back to even par. The 4th hole runs along the back end of the property. At 123 yards, I find this to be probably the easiest hole on the course. Decently large green like the rest of them out here. Unfortunately, I didn't play it like it's the easiest hole on the golf course. I think it's obvious we'd all like a better tee shot on a short hole like this, but it did leave me a pitch shot that brings the attention to the slope of the green. You can see as it rolls past the cup, that it breaks from left to right, showing some good slope in that direction on the green. Holes 5 and 7 are very, very similar to one another. Long par 3s that aren't that easy. At 192 yards, and the 7th hole playing a little bit longer as well, I think add to the enticing nature of this golf course. Not everything's short, not everything's overly simple, and it makes you really work for a quality score on these longer par 3s. What I find to be one of the more redeeming qualities of this golf course is that it does provide a challenge more so than a lot of the short courses you might find in your area of the state. With the size of the greens that they have out here, I did not hit a great pitch shot, but here's a green that does do a good amount of slope from back to the front. So a long par putt that does not go in. I left myself with way too much work left for par, so if you're playing this hole, make sure you have enough club to get the ball to the cup. I think when people see a 288-yard par 4 on a scorecard, they start licking their chops, thinking I'm going to attack this. Now, you might think that if you're feeling extra confident, but it's all out of bounds that runs along the left side of the hole, with the tree line being very narrow on the right. So I think the smart play is a confident club that you can get some length to. Did not hit the best hybrid here, left myself a little bit more than I would normally want on a hole this length, but thankfully hit a nice wedge up into the green. Playing it safe, you're going to have an uphill shot to the green, so make sure you know exactly what the yardage is and you're playing enough club just to get it up that extra slope. The green is on the longer side of things from the front to the back and plays narrow like the rest of the hole, but it doesn't leave a terribly challenging putt to finish. Like I mentioned on hole 5, the 7th hole is on the longer side of things, adding to the challenge that presents itself here at Fairfield Hills. Playing over 200 yards, you can see some bunker trouble on the short and right side of things, well placed to protect itself from a high weak shot like I tended to hit here. Thankfully I missed the sand, left myself another pitch and a putt to get up and down. So, a good challenging par 3 in a short, accessible course gives a challenge amongst a lot of the simplicity that exists out here. No rest for the weary as it comes to these longer par 3s. Playing at about 191 yards and a little bit more protected than these last few long par 3s, the 8th hole is right in theme with the last few par 3s that we have out here at Fairfield Hills. So making sure that you have enough club to get to the green. I like these holes because you're not just throwing out a wedge to get onto the green to pitch and putt. Not one for tooting my own horn here, but thankfully got up and down with that awful celebration for a birdie. And because I chipped in, I didn't get too much of a chance to take a look at the green, but it does have a good amount of slope from left to right on the 8th hole. Now, playing this as a 9-hole course, I would say that this is a very, very good challenge to finish, right in theme with everything else that we've played thus far. It's the longest hole on the 9 holes, and it runs really narrow with out of bounds all along the right side of the hole and trees separating the 1st hole and the 9th hole on the left. My safe play off the tee left me a simple wedge up to the green. Some final thoughts from Fairfield Hills, wrapping up the 9th hole here. I really enjoy this short course. It only tips out to about 2,000 yards, just a little bit over 2,017 on the card from the back tees, the whites where I was playing today. Some similar holes spread out throughout the course, but enough variety between those similar. There's enough variety between the similarities that I really appreciate out here. The golf course is in great shape considering it's late October. Lots of leaves on the ground, but it's Wisconsin. What can we do to complain about that? But yeah, if you're in the area, absolutely give Fairfield Hills a try. Have simulators inside, a really nice large range to practice at. Check it out. It's well worth your time. Another exciting 2-putt par to finish. But absolutely take the time, if you can, to come check out Fairfield Hills. It's an award-winning golf course smack in the middle of the state. It's going to challenge the experienced player and give the beginning player, a great chance to practice and access the game. So if you want a friendly experience that challenges you, it gives you a great place to practice, get out to Fairfield Hills as soon as you can. And you might chip one in yourself too.